The story begins with Blade struggling to adapt to a quieter life through his long war against vampires. Though the city is calmer now, he feels restless, haunted by memories of battles and faces he could not save. His human side longs for peace, but his vampire instincts constantly remind him that darkness is never truly gone. Whispers of strange disappearances in nearby towns start reaching him, igniting the old fire inside him. Blade senses that something is brewing, something far worse than the bloodsuckers he once hunted. Blade reconnects with his ally Whistler's protege, who has been working on new weapons and tech. Together, they track patterns in the disappearances and realize that humans are being drained differently, not like traditional vampire attacks. The victims show signs of experimentation, suggesting a new threat is at play. Blade tries to resist jumping back into the fight, but knows he cannot. Walk away from innocent lives at risk. His inner struggle grows heavier, torn between his desire to be human and his duty as the Daywalker. Slowly, he gears up again, ready for the hunt. As Blade investigates, he discovers that a secret faction of vampires has resurfaced, ones who reject the old ways of feeding and survival. They have merged science with vampirism, experimenting on humans to create a new hybrid species. These hybrids are designed to walk freely in daylight, something only Blade could once do. For the first time, Blade feels his uniqueness being threatened. He realizes if these hybrids succeed, the balance between humans and vampires will collapse, plunging the world into chaos. The vampires leading these experiments have aligned with a rogue human scientist obsessed with eternal life. This man sees Blade not as an enemy, but as the final piece of his puzzle. He believes that by studying Blade's unique blood, he can perfect the hybrid transformation. Blade knows this makes him a prime target, and soon enough, assassins begin hunting him. Across the city, despite his skills, the relentless waves of enemies begin to chip at him, reminding him that he is no longer invincible. Each battle leaves him questioning his limits. Amidst this struggle, Blade encounters Nyssa, a vampire from his past who once spared him. She offers him information about the hybrids, but warns that her loyalties are torn. She admits that the new order of hybrids intends to wipe out both humans and traditional vampires, leaving no space for balance. Blade doesn't trust her, but feels he has no choice but to hear her out. Their uneasy alliance sparks tension, with moments of honesty and betrayal constantly hanging in the air. For the first time, Blade finds himself questioning who his real enemies are. As Blade infiltrates one of the hybrid labs, he witnesses the horrors firsthand: humans strapped to machines, drained and modified like test subjects. The sight awakens his fury, reminding him why he fights. He destroys the facility that barely escapes alive, realizing this was just one of many scattered across the globe. His rage fuels him, but deep down, a feeling of helplessness creeps in. The hybrids are multiplying faster than he can destroy them, and time is not on his side. Still, he refuses to give up. Carrying the weight of humanity on his shoulders, Blade and Nyssa follow a trail to the heart of the hybrid project, a hidden city built underground, shielded from human detection. Here, thousands of hybrids are being bred, trained, and prepared to rise against the surface world. The scale of the operation terrifies Blade, as he realizes this is no longer a battle, this is war. Nyssa warns him that if he tries to fight alone, he will be crushed, but Blade's stubbornness drives him forward. He knows calling for help means risking betrayal, yet fighting alone means certain death. His humanity pushes him to find another way. The underground city is led by Marcus, the first and most powerful of the hybrids, who sees himself as the evolution of Blade's legacy. Marcus admires Blade, but believes he clings to outdated ideals of balance. To Marcus, survival means domination, and he offers Blade a place at his side. Blade rejects the offer, sparking a brutal duel that tests both his skill and resolve. Marcus, stronger and faster, nearly kills Blade, but Nyssa intervenes just in time. Though Blade escapes, His confidence is shaken for the first time in years. As Blade recovers, he begins to train harder than ever, pushing his body to its limits. He also wrestles with the haunting words Marcus left him with that maybe Blade's way is doomed. In quiet moments, Blade reflects on the humans he's saved and the lives he's lost. He questions whether he is fighting for a hope or simply prolonging the inevitable. Nyssa confronts him, reminding him that his humanity is his strength, not his weakness. Her words reignite his fire, giving him the clarity he needs for the battles to come. With a renewed sense of purpose, Blade rallies allies, both human and reluctant vampires, to strike against the hybrids. Though trust is thin and tensions high, they all know survival depends on unity. For the first time, Blade becomes a leader, not just a lone warrior. His allies look to him for guidance, and though he is uncomfortable with the role, he steps into it. The mission is clear: destroy Marcus and end the hybrid uprising before it spills onto the surface. Blade prepares for the most dangerous fight of his life. The final battle erupts in the underground city, where Blade and his forces clash with Marcus and his army. The air is thick with blood, screams, and fire as the war rages on. Blade cuts through countless hybrids, but exhaustion begins to wear him down. Each strike of his sword carries not just skill, but years of pain and determination. He fights not just for survival, but for every human who never had the chance to fight back. The chaos around him fuels his relentless spirit. In the heart of the battle, Blade confronts Marcus one last time. Their fight is brutal, pushing both to their breaking points. Marcus taunts Blade, insisting that the age of humanity is over, and that Blade's resistance is pointless. But Blade fights with a fire Marcus cannot understand, the fire of choice, of humanity, of sacrifice. With a final, desperate strike, Blade pierces Marcus through the heart, ending his reign. The hybrids scatter, weakened without their leader, but the war has left scars on all sides. As the dust settles, Blade surveys the wreckage. His allies mourn their dead, and humanity is safe for now. But Blade knows this victory is only temporary, as darkness always finds a way to rise again. Nyssa disappears into the shadows, leaving Blade unsure of her true intentions. Standing alone amidst the ruins, Blade feels both victorious and empty. He knows peace will never truly be his, but he accepts it as his burden. Blade walks back into the city streets, blending into the night like a ghost. His human side aches for a normal life, yet his destiny as the Day Walker will never let him rest. The people he saves will never know his name, but he doesn't fight for recognition, he fights because it is right. As the neon lights flicker above him, Blade silently sharpens his sword, knowing the next war is already on the horizon. He doesn't fear it, he welcomes it. For Blade, the battle never ends.